Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
Tonight, we have new information on the migrants found trapped inside a train car near Uvalde, but we will get to that in just a minute. San Antonio police have a big clue to go off of as they search for the suspect in a West Side shooting. That shooting left one person dead.
Yeah, the night team's Camila Juarez spoke to neighbors in the area who say there was one major piece of evidence that was left behind.
Just before 10 last night on El Paso Street, Rosalinda Doria says she heard a round of gunfire.
I got scared. I did get scared because you don't know what's going to happen.
When San Antonio police arrived, they found a car parked on the street. It was still running and bullet holes were on the passenger side. That car was parked right in front of Doria's home.
They said that it was the car right here parked in my driveway, a black car in the driveway.
The car with bullet holes was left here on El Paso Street. Then police got a second call here on the corner of 19th and Elviria. That's where the man was found dead.
I don't feel good because I don't know what's going to happen tonight.
San Antonio police are still looking for a suspect. The name of the victim has not yet been released. Camelia Juarez, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Camelia. Well, tonight, a family is searching for answers more than 3 months after their loved one was killed. 27-year-old Rain Rice was shot in a car back in December. Earlier this month, Crime Stoppers released photos of a possible suspect's vehicle. The family tells the night team's Lee Waldman they hope this will lead to the justice they're looking for.
So tell me what does it look like in heaven?
She was like the most amazing person you'd ever meet.
I'll tell you, she touched so many people's lives. She was just an amazing person.
It still doesn't feel real for the Lazo family. What should have been Rain Rice's 28th birthday in February came and went without her. They've gone more than 3 months without answers to who killed her.
Really hard. There hasn't been anything new on it.
According to San Antonio police, Rice was in a car around 7:45 p.m. on I-10 West before the upper and lower level split near downtown December 17th when someone shot her. These are photos of the suspect's vehicle. The dark SUV was seen driving west on Cesar Y. Chavez Boulevard at South Flores Street behind a white Hummer limo before the shooting.
I don't understand how somebody could do something like this. You know, there's no reason why. This is horrible. It's completely evil.
Her family says Rice was in the car with her 2 young children, her husband, and 2 other adults when the shooting happened. While her kids, ages 4 and 1, are too young to understand what happened to their mom, Rice's parents and brother will make sure they know who she was.
We got to try our hardest just to show them how she was and how much she would have loved them, you know. And she was loving him. She was super mom.
They're asking for whoever did this to think of her kids and give them the closure they deserve.
They can imagine what it would feel like to them. You know, if you had a sister, you had a daughter, and somebody came and took them away, how would you feel about it? So do the right thing and come forward.
Rice's family says there's a $5,000 reward for any information on her murder. You can give Crime Stoppers a call at 210-224-STOP, and you can remain anonymous when you call. Reporting live, Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Lee. Hopefully they can get some answers soon. Now, 2 human smuggling cases are under investigation in South Texas in just 2 days. The latest one happening in Eagle Pass, where 12 people were found trapped inside of a rail car. One of those migrants is dead. The migrants were found yesterday afternoon when Eagle Pass Fire and Maverick County Sheriff's deputies were called to the Union Pacific train yard. Officials say one of the migrants inside the rail car actually called 911 saying they were trapped inside for more than 24 hours. 3 migrants were taken to a nearby hospital and 8 others were detained by Border Patrol. This is the second migrant investigation involving a Union Pacific rail car. The other happened Friday, where 17 migrants were found near Canipa. Homeland Security Investigations is looking into both cases.
Has been changed To an endangered missing child alert. The alert is for a 6-year-old boy who disappeared in North Texas. Noel Rodriguez Alvarez is described as having physical and developmental challenges. Everman police say his mother, Cindy Rodriguez Singh, is not cooperating with their investigation. Police learned she left the country with her husband and 6 children, but Noel was not named as a passenger on that flight. While police look for him, they've charged Rodriguez Singh with making a false report of a missing child or person. Anyone with information is asked to call Everman Police at the number on your screen, 817-293-2923.
A man is recovering tonight from smoke inhalation after being rescued from a burning apartment in Castle Hills this morning. The fire broke out around 5 in the morning at the place of Castle Hills on Braesview, not far from West Avenue. A San Antonio police officer arrived first and was able to break down the door of a unit, where they then found the victim collapse. He was then treated by paramedics at the scene. Firefighters were able to get the fire out quickly before it spread. Officials believe it started in the kitchen area.
A man is in the hospital tonight after being hit by a car while crossing the street on the south side. The crash happened after 2 p.m. near Bonner Avenue and South Flores Street. San Antonio police say the man was not at the crosswalk when he was hit and thrown by a car. He was taken to the hospital. That driver did stop to help, though, and will not be facing any charges.
2 people are in crucial condition tonight after being hurt in connection with a 3-vehicle crash. It happened on Loop 410 just before 2:30 in the morning on the frontage road near Ingram and Wurzbach roads. San Antonio police say a Jaguar hit the end of a Camaro. That caused both of the vehicles to be stopped in the middle of the lanes. And then a third vehicle, a RAV4, crashed into the passenger door of the Jaguar, causing it to split in half. Both people inside the Jaguar are taken to the hospital. The other drivers were evaluated for intoxication, and the RAV4 driver was booked for DWI.
All right, let's go outside with live cam here this Sunday night. Things are pretty quiet in and around the San Antonio area. Hopefully you enjoyed the awesome weather that we had this weekend. Yesterday, absolutely beautiful. We had plenty of sunshine, low humidity, highs in the 80s. Today, highs were still in the 80s as well, but something you probably noticed, a little bit more of that Gulf moisture, the humidity levels rising for the back half of the weekend's plans. Temperatures right now, we're in the low 70s for the most part. We still got a few 60s out there, but yes, the moisture is creeping back in. A look in the change in dew points from right now compared to where we were this time yesterday, about 15 to 25 degrees higher, signaling more of those changes. Now, because those dew points are on the elevated side, into our Monday, I do think more cloud cover is in store. We'll start off in the low 60s, maybe a few sprinkles possible throughout the first half of the day, and then mostly cloudy skies into the afternoon with highs in the low 80s. Now this week we've got more temperature changes, days of gusty winds, and also daily chances for some isolated rain and a couple of storms. We'll get you all those details and time out your week ahead coming up in just a bit, Courtney.
Thanks so much, Mia. See you soon. Well, several severe storms have left a path of destruction across parts of the southern United States.
And more than 24 people have died from one tornado that hit Mississippi. Today, President Biden issued an emergency declaration for the state.
ABC's Morgan Norwood takes us to Rolling Fork, a town hit particularly hard.
Tonight, Rolling Fork, Mississippi, maimed and mangled, most of it leveled, after a monster tornado sliced through the city like a chainsaw, cutting a 60-mile path of destruction across the state and killing more than 24 people.
We had the refrigerator, stove.
Local police officer Antoine Jones says it all happened so fast. He and his girlfriend taking cover in the bathtub.
The debris falling on top of us, and all we're doing is holding each other, just praying.
Tracy Harden owns Chuck's Dairy Bar. She and her husband, along with 7 others, survived the splitting winds by taking shelter inside of a large cooler. Their restaurant, a total loss, along with the community she loved dearly.
We have so much loss, and we're grieving and we're hurting and for our friends, and that's our concern right now. This will be okay. We just need to make sure our community is okay first.
And then there's Jessica Davis, who tells me she was on the phone with her mother, Wanda, when that twister barreled through. She says she could hear the winds in the background, and her mother drove to a local store and hunkered down inside, but she never made it out.
I'm hurt, nothing but hurt, because everyone lost something, whether it was a loved one, home, everyone lost something.
Tonight, Governor Tate Reeves touring the disaster zone with federal officials, including FEMA.
We will be here for you now. We will be here for you next week. We will be here long after these cameras are gone.
You know, it's hard to say or even tell what actually stood here. I mean, this was once someone's home. I mean, there's a refrigerator here, cars littered everywhere, their lives just upended.
I know we can rebuild, but what you do with the devastation? What you do with all this?
Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Rolling Fork, Mississippi.
What's in a name? A lot of history according to our latest KSAT Explains episode. We explain the myths and legends behind South Texas town names. Plus, they might just look like regular t-shirts. Instead, support with style and find out how these icon t-shirts give back to kids fighting cancer.
It is a story of giving born from necessity. KSAT has done many stories on Noah Adams, who went through chemotherapy right here in San Antonio. His mom saw some difficulties he had while getting chemotherapy, and now that he's in remission, she's sending specialized homemade products to other kids all over the world. Debbie Harper's job has nothing to do with sewing, but she spends a lot of her time these days at this sewing machine. The reason has to do with her son, Noah, who was diagnosed with a rare bone cancer in 2020 at the age of 17.
His cancer is an ugly one. It's a beast. It's called Ewing sarcoma. And so they have 5 years before they're considered survivors.
While in that delicate remission, Noah spends his time thinking of others. He started the Stay Strong Foundation to help other kids with cancer. A wing of that charity is called Icon Shirts. Icon standing for In Care of Noah. The idea stemmed from the port in Noah's chest where he used to receive chemo.
He had to take off his shirt every single time. He hated it. And he hated the hospital gowns because then you have the back opened, and he didn't like it.
Shirts with openings online were just too expensive, so Noah's aunt sewed a zipper onto several of his shirts, and he loved it. So for the last year and a half, Harper has been making Icon shirts for kids all over the world.
We've delivered to Croatia, Australia, everywhere across the United States.
Right now, the operation is all her. A lot of the requests come in online through their website, and the kids can be more specific about what they want. But the other ones that come in through the hospital because of HIPAA have to be more generic. So sometimes she'll get lists that say things like this: girl 4T dress or boy adult small. Sometimes she'll get orders of 100 shirts from the hospital. Out of her house, she cuts and sews away, a skill she did not originally have.
Or I learned the skill with YouTube to be able to do this. So they're not perfect. They work, and the kids love them.
She chooses fun, inspirational prints that bring a little normalcy to the kids' lives.
I hate that I have to do the little bitty ones because, 2T, that's a 2-year-old, right?
She makes sizes from toddler 2T to XXL and feels honored to create each one.
It's very rewarding, and I'm always texting Noah and telling him, hey, I just delivered 50 more to the hospital.
She can feel Noah's pride all the way from Pittsburgh, where he's currently in college, proving to other kids they can beat cancer and live out their dreams. An amazing family. Harper also makes Icon shirts with zippers down the side, like you can see behind me. That's for children with other conditions that require feeding tubes. It makes it much easier for them. So to donate to the cause, all you have to do is get on your phone right now and text Icon to 53555. You can also go to the Stay Strong Foundation website. Really incredible things they're doing.
That's awesome to see that.
Yeah.
It hurts to hear the small sizes she has to make, but it's an amazing opportunity to try to make everybody's life a little bit easier.
They're doing good. Make them happier.
Absolutely.
The weather today.
The weather made a lot of us happier.
I was gonna say,
perfect.
This weekend, we kind of lucked out in the weather department. Yeah, yesterday was absolutely beautiful. And the thing about yesterday was we had drier air in place. That low humidity was able to just make it feel so much more comfortable outside, even though temperatures were warmer than average for this time of year. But no complaints here. Now, today, you likely notice a little bit more of that moisture working back in. In fact, stepping outside right now, a little bit more of that stickiness is in place. Now, we've got some things to talk about into this upcoming work week. A lot to talk about, not just in terms of our temperatures. It will be warm again tomorrow. We're topping off in the low 80s, but then we see the first of two fronts in the 7-day forecast move in Monday night and into early Tuesday. That's actually going to knock those daytime highs down to about about 70 by midweek. We also do have some isolated daily chances for rain to talk about as early as tomorrow, but that lasts through the better portion of this upcoming week as well. We even have a few chances to find an isolated thunderstorm or two, and we also will keep eyes on some days of gusty winds. We are expected to find that really by Tuesday. I think you'll notice more of that northeast wind gusting upwards of 35 miles per hour at times as well. You can see we generally are quiet out there in terms of the winds, pretty calm, a dew point of 61. So we've seen that number come up just a little bit today. Currently 72 officially on the thermometer over at SA International. Tomorrow, possible we find a few wind gusts in the morning, upwards of about 20 miles per hour, but then we see that first front move in Monday night and into early Tuesday. That's going to kick up that healthy northeast wind, again gusting upwards of 35 to maybe even 40 miles per hour in spots for your Tuesday. Take a little bit of a break when it comes to those gustier winds on Wednesday, but then those ramp back up again for the second half of the work week. Now, temperature wise, kickstarting the Monday morning drive, we are expected to wake up to the 50s and 60s in and around the San Antonio area, around 60 here in town, 55 in Bulverde, 64 over in Nixon, as well as Floresville, 59 in Hondo. And the thing is, with that moisture in place as well, we are expecting more of the cloud cover once again as we head into our Monday. Maybe a few sprinkles here in town throughout the first half of the day, and still into our Monday afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies are expected. Overall, daytime highs still look to climb into the low 80s, around 82 here in town, 84 in Pleasanton, 81 up in Bernie, and 83 in Bandera for your Monday afternoon. Now, tomorrow night sparks that daily isolated chance for rain that we have. A couple of storms certainly possible as that front moves in. And while you'll notice it's not going to touch everybody each and every day, probably a good idea to plan on keeping the umbrella in your car just to be on the safe side should you briefly need to use it. We are quiet out there on the radar right now. Nothing of note here in South Central Texas. But as we were talking about earlier in the newscast, that still is a much different story for our friends and neighbors off to our east. Tornado watch continues for portions of Mississippi, stretching over to Alabama here tonight as well. Unfortunately, some of the same areas that were already hit by those strong storms and tornadoes on Friday. Not looking at any of that right now. Again, we are quiet, but as we head into Monday morning, notice a few sprinkles, very light isolated showers possible by the Monday morning drive. This is around 6:30 a.m. Also, maybe some patchy fog possible across portions of the coastal plains. There's the cloud cover that sticks with us for the most part into our Monday afternoon. And this is a conditional chance. It's not a guarantee, but by Monday evening, this is around 7 p.m., we may need to monitor for an isolated strong thunderstorm. Looks to be relatively short-lived if we can find that. Again, not locked in, not guaranteed, but we will keep eyes on the radar, generally looking at some isolated to widely scattered showers into the overnight hours on Monday and early Tuesday as that first boundary works in as well. Highs near 70, so a little bit cooler Tuesday and into Wednesday, and then we'll warm things back up already by the back half of the week, guys.
Awesome stuff. Thanks for that, Mia. Looking forward to those rain chances.
We'll check in with Larry after the break. Well, the Texas Longhorns' crazy but admirable season has come to an end. They played hard under interim head coach Rodney Terry and came within one win of their first Final Four appearance since 2003 when they lost to Syracuse. For a preview of what's on Instant Replay, let's head to Larry Ramirez, who's laughing, making me read this story.
I know, I feel so bad. I wrote that thinking Tim Gerber was in tonight.
No,
yeah, not
that's okay.
So much.
I'm proud of us.
A heartbreaking loss,
Yeah.
but yes, absolutely, they put up a good fight for sure. It certainly looked like the Longhorns were heading to Houston for the Final Four, but then the final 10 minutes of the game happened, and Texas did not heed the hurricane warning. Tonight on Instant Replay.
It just hurts for the brothers next to me that I'm not playing with them no more. That hurts.
Timmy Allen returned for his super season, and you can just hear the pain in his voice after the Longhorns lost in the Elite Eight today to the Miami Hurricanes. UT was up 12 with 10:15 to go, and they could not hold on.
We played well for about a quarter, but after that, I thought we just gave in. Last game on the road, end of season, I thought we embarrassed ourselves by giving in the way we did.
That was part of Pop's 19-second post-game presser tonight after the Celtics throttled the Spurs. San Antonio led by 2 points after the first quarter, and then they threw in the towel per Pop's assessment.
I will say, there are secrets that you kind of like, and I'll just tell you because I don't really care. But like, as a right-footed player, at the end of the game, your knees are shaking. It's the 97th minute. You don't deserve to tie, in my opinion.
SAFC's last line of defense goalkeeper Jordan Farr had 5 saves last night. His final one came in stoppage time to help seal the deal for the defending champs. What a match. The Brahmas played at the Renegades today. 210 BAM will fight for a world championship right here in San Antonio. Plus, the Valero Texas Open will tee off at TPC San Antonio this week. That and much more tonight on Instant Replay.
So excited for the Valero, Texas. You know, I always.
Oh, you love golf.
I love the golf. All right. Thanks, Larry. All right. Well, sometimes it takes an assassin to knock out the superhero competition, and that's what happened this weekend. We have the box office results.
And the death toll rising after the explosion at a chocolate factory. The tools emergency crews are using to sift through the rubble in hopes of finding more survivors.
Oh, and the name of a town means a lot to the people who live there, but across South Texas, there are all kinds of towns with unique names and spellings. So our next KSAT Explains breaks down the history behind the most interesting South Texas town names.
Welcome back. Now, everything has a name, from humans to dogs to even hurricanes. That's because names are important. That may be even more true when it comes to cities and towns.
Yeah, what a community is named actually tells a lot about its past and how it came to be. And as we know, South Texas has no shortage of history to pass along.
That's why meteorologist Justin Horn became fascinated with the topic. And over the years, he's traveled miles upon miles on back roads to discover, how did that town get its name?
In this episode of KSAT Explains, Justin looks back at the towns he's visited and answers the question, what's in a name?
Asking if South Texas is interesting is like asking if the cedar tree is allergy inducing. Of course it is. And so interesting, in fact, that they've made movies about it.
Hollywood thought it was perfect too, filming the movie 7 Days in Utopia here, starring Robert Duvall.
And borrowed intersecting streets for hit songs. This town is home to the corner of First and Amistad. It doesn't look like much, but it's the only intersection in the country with that name. And if it sounds familiar, there's a good reason for that.
Yes, it's the intersection made famous in the 2009 song, You Found Me by The Fray.
That was in Quemado, where the origins of the town, which translates to burned or scorched, isn't quite certain. But there are multiple theories.
It was because the Spaniards thought it was a remains of an old volcano.
And it wasn't the first time we ran into some name origin tales that caught us off guard.
And they came up with the name Wolfart.
Yes, Wolfart. It's a German name that received more than a few laughs.
There was a bird that kept flying around that kept saying something like, kee, kee, kee.
Rumor is, from all the locals, that it did get its name from a card game called Coon Can.
Not the heinous.
A common mistake, but wrong.
And remember, there's no anus in Dehennis.
I never messed that one up again, out of respect for the fine folks of Dehennis, which, if you were curious, was founded by the famed Henry Castro and originally named Dihani. As we often do, we put our Texas spin on it. But it turns out it wasn't the only town in the area that's been mispronounced.
The ones that we usually hear are Jordanton.
Or as it was today with an out-of-town caller.
Jordantown.
Which is wrong.
Which is totally wrong.
What do you think about green?
Green? I think it's very green and beautiful.
And they just went, oh, Miko.
And for the record,
no, it is not Miko.
It's Von Army. It's pronounced with an A.
Born, Bernays.
Bjorn, Burn.
They always say born.
We tell people weekend at Bernie's or Bernie. That's how you pronounce it.
I think we can all agree that the odd vowel structure of the German language can be a bit challenging. But as it turns out, the German settlers to the area were also good at understanding irony.
They called it Camp Comfort, thinking it was going to get easier and better, and it didn't. And so they named it, they dropped the word camp, and they went to comfort because there wasn't any.
Ironic indeed. And while we're on the topic of literary devices, it turns out that back in the 1800s, spelling was a bit of an issue for some of our local county and state officials.
Back in the old days, not everybody could read or write or spell.
Leaving us with what we see today.
It wound up being Dimmitt, D-I-M-M-I-T. They dropped the second T.
But when the paperwork came back, it officially declared the town as Divot. So Pivot had to pivot and stick with Divot.
Post office dropped the E and added an A.
Yes, Natalia should have been Natalie.
Natalie was the daughter of famed engineer Dr. Frederick Pearson, who was the designer and financer of Medina Dam. In a tragic twist, he died along with his wife in the sinking of the Lusitania, an event that propelled the United States into World War I. And if you thought the connection to presidents and world events ended there, you'd be wrong. In fact, many area communities have had some direct ties to presidents. Some pretty recognizable names have lived in Cotulla through the years, including a U.S. president who was a teacher here at the Wellhausen Elementary School, which is now the LaSalle County Appraisal District.
That president was Lyndon B. Johnson. One of the early landowners in this area was Charles Taft, the 27th President William Howard Taft's half-brother. He would build the famous Taft Summer House, and as the legend goes, complete with oversized bathtubs for his portly brother.
A house that was later moved and used by former Texas Governor Dolph Briscoe. Another big name, one of many we discovered along our journeys.
And Poteet has another claim to fame. It is the birthplace of George Strait. He was born here at this hospital, which has long since shut down.
Jeff Bezos' grandparents also owned a ranch near Cotulla. Meet Count Norbert von Army, an Austro-Hungarian nobleman who came into money and grew tired of Europe. And Freetown's jail, too, still stands. The second floor cells holding some famous outlaws.
My understanding is Jesse James and Frank James spent the night there.
It's a former military installment with a rich history. Charles Lindbergh even landed here. For its size, Uvalde boasts an impressive list of hometown celebrities. Of course, you have Matthew McConaughey.
Legend had it was actually John Wilkes Booth had survived and was able to escape after assassinating President Lincoln and settled here in Bandera.
We can't confirm that, but if you dove to the bottom of Canyon Lake, you'd probably find evidence of Hancock and Cranes Mill, both towns that have disappeared from the map. That was also the fate of Pauley, a town named after famed Tejano Jose Policarpio Rodriguez.
And you compare him to the guy from Tennessee who killed 10 bears. Well, he killed almost that many on this first trip to the valley here.
And over the years, the stories kept coming.
St. Hedwig is the patron saint of Silesia. It's hard to imagine that in the early 1900s, this small town was known as the Saratoga of the South, a nod to Saratoga, New York, because of all things, the spa industry. No, there's no mythical monster amongst the trees. Rather, the town's namesake is this colorful character, William Bigfoot Wallace.
Panna Maria, after the Virgin Mary. Panna Maria in Polish means young girl.
And so he said, Montana is just not the name for this place. I'm going to name it after Sir Thomas More's Utopia, the perfect place to be.
A perfect name. And ask any resident from any of these towns, and they'll tell you they live in the perfect place with a name that generates plenty of pride and provides for some interesting history. For KSAT Explains, I'm Justin Horn.
I love Justin's town name stories. He's been doing them for years, so thanks for that. To watch any of our past KSAT Explains episodes online, just scan this QR code on your screen right now. You can also go to KSAT.com.
Yeah, that was pretty incredible. Props to the whole KSAT Explains team for putting that together. All right, let's go back outside with live cam here tonight. 72 degrees here in San Antonio and a little bit muggier out there as well. Almanac data for today started off at about 52 degrees here in San Antonio. That's actually a little bit below average by a few degrees for this time of year, but those daytime highs able to climb into the above average category, mid 80s 80s here in San Antonio, upper 80s the farther west, as well as south that you went, even a few 90s. Del Rio, Carrizo Springs, stretching back over to Cotulla. Now into our Monday, still a warm day. We'll see those thermometers climb into the low 80s tomorrow, but then that temperature roller coaster continues. The first of two cold fronts moves in tomorrow night and early Tuesday. That helps those temperatures cool down to the 70-degree mark by the middle of the week before we warm things right back up. Another full look at the week ahead, those gusty wind conditions and isolated rain chances coming up in just a few.
The city where a chocolate factory exploded, now under a state of emergency as the death toll rises. We have the latest on survivors and the ongoing search for more people.